Not sure if I'm making a vlog post or not today. Basically because I'm trying to do a 45-mile sort of training cycle, and I might have to concentrate on that. So yeah, I better get cracking because I'm losing the light. That's basically what introduces the urgency to the matter for me. Is wintertime in the UK, the days are not long. So, done about 10%, well actually no, that's not true. Done about 7-8%. And I've got to remember to not go too hard, because this is more of a marathon than a sprint for me. Longest ride so far in my life is 33 miles. And I am planning on going a bit further today, so hopefully the light will hold. Speaking of lights, I've forgotten to put my bike lights on. I'll do that when I stop next for a quick chocolate. GoPros are awesome. Especially now they have microphones that actually work. Thank you, GoPro Hero 9 Plus Media Mod. Well, some pretty countryside out here. Normally when I see windmills in the distance, I like to think that they're powering my journey. Today, it's Cadbury's cream eggs and caffeine. You know, this thing almost functions as a bit of a rear mirror, actually, almost. Time for my first pit stop. And also it's a good opportunity for me to tell you something that I'm going to be doing hopefully in April, if, you know, pandemics allow for it, of course. I have got a 100-mile sportive coming up, which is, for those of you that don't know, basically like a race without the race bit. Yeah, but still, it's 100 miles in one day. Hence why I need to try and increase my distance on these cycle rides from 20-30 miles up to, well, ideally 70-80 at least, which should be perfectly doable. I mean, yeah, so that's partly why the sort of focus on distance a bit today. Trying to think what else I need to say. Nothing. Right, just put the lights on and go, I think. It wasn't clear on the map when I was planning my route whether this was going to be a paved path through the park or not, but I am pleased to see it is paved, because of course it's winter time, which means mud, and I don't like mud. Haha, brilliant. Right, well, as I've not got lost yet, better get back to it so I don't get lost. I think I've gone the wrong way. I think this is an old train line. Past what looked like an old station platform back there. Quite cool. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Just means I have to go down a bigger road for longer. Oh, did I mention my toes are completely numb, as are my fingers and my brain. Well, that was good fun. So I only did 40 miles in the end, not 45, because, well, basically I got to a road that was completely flooded out. And I think I took a shot at that actually, so you already know that. But basically the problem was the diversion would have added an extra 5 miles, and I figured 50 might be a little bit too much. So yeah, I didn't want to do that. I figured I'd take a shorter diversion rather than a longer one, if you know what I mean. And then I also took 2 wrong turns, And then I had to do a little extra bit, sort of out the village and turn around and come straight back again in order to get to 40, because otherwise it would have been 38.5, and that would just be annoying. But yeah, all in all, awesome ride, and I've shown some progression, which is what I wanted. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever ridden 40 miles in my life. Next up, 50 miles. On with the other subject of today's video. Why I didn't go for a battery bike. I was originally thinking maybe I'd go for an electric mountain bike, which would have been awesome, but there aren't enough mountains around here, so I'm actually quite pleased I didn't do that. I think road cycling is actually a better fit for my personality anyway. I'm not a massive sort of, you know, wheels off the ground trick kind of person. I would rather go fast and cover distance and have a good excuse for coffee and cake and Cadbury's cream eggs. So yeah, that's why road bike. But why not road bike with a battery? Doing something like cycling is always more fun if you can do it in a group. And it's a sociable activity, cycling. And if I had a bike with a battery, then it would effectively put me on a different frequency from the other riders, in that we'd get to a hill and I'd steam up the hill much faster than everyone else, and then we get to the flats and they'd steam past me much quicker than I could go. Because the problem with an electric bike is that their speed is limited to 15.5 miles per hour with assistance. So if you want to go faster than 15.5 miles an hour, which most road bike riders will do on the flat, you have to take all of the weight and the extra rolling resistance that tends to come with the slightly fatter sort of tires that you get with an e-bike, and you've got to overcome all of that using nothing but the power in your legs, which is really, really hard work. I mean, there's a reason why people that ride road bikes don't particularly want, 20 kilo bikes, because it's really difficult to make the things move. And also, most of the gears on electric bikes are not really set up for going much faster than 15.5 miles an hour, because not a lot of people can really do that. And then there's the cost. Adding a battery and a motor to a bike of the same quality as one without is obviously going to add a fair amount of extra cost. But the biggest barrier definitely is the 15.5 mile an hour assistance speed limit. For the vast majority of people riding a legal e-bike in the UK and the rest of Europe, you will go faster if you don't have a battery and a motor on board. So who would suit an electric bike? Well, let's put it this way. In the spring or the summer, whenever we can go out and get on with something a bit more like normal life, I'm hoping to do some nice rides with my mum. Now, she's quite sort of timid, shall we say, about the idea of riding a bike on the road, but I'm hoping that having the certainty of being able to maintain a sensible speed because of the motor and the fact that she can go up hills without grinding to a halt, I'm hoping these things are going to very quickly give her a level of comfort. And so, she's going to borrow my folding electric bike, which I'm going to keep that. I'm still going to use that if I go into London or something like that. It's perfect for that sort of thing, because you can just fold it up, take it on the tube. You don't have to really worry about it being nicked quite so much. I mean, certainly my gravel bike is never going to leave my sight. When I'm out of the house, it will be within sight at all times, no matter what it's locked up with. But yeah, so that's what I'm hoping. We're going to go off into the countryside together and, have a nice lunch somewhere. That sounds like a nice springtime activity. Speaking of which, it looks like we're heading in that direction. Although it's going to get cold again, unfortunately. So by the time you see this video, it'll probably be freezing. But that doesn't change the fact that spring is coming. And I am really, really excited by that. It's going to be so nice. And then hopefully I'll be able to get back to a bit more of a sort of a normal vlogging rhythm, because lockdown does not really work for me. It doesn't work for the kind of videos that I want to produce. I want to go places and talk to people and see things and travel the country. Actually, I've got quite a fun plan for, maybe even the summer, depending on coronavirus situations. I'm going to try and turn my Tesla into a little bit of a camper van. I mean, not an actual camper van, of course, but the plan is to be able to get my folding memory foam bed into the back, plus a bike or two, and all the luggage we need, and a little tent. So we've got a little sort of external living room, because the problem with Teslas is you don't really get, they make a fantastic bed in the back with the seats down, but they're not so good from the point of view of sort of living space. But that's going to be good fun. I'm going to try and go to some pretty places and see how much extra utility I can get out of my car. Because it's, you know, it's still going well, and 132,000 miles now on the clock, and it misses going on road trips. So do I. Probably so does everyone. So yeah, we're going to do some of that as soon as it's feasible to. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you don't already. I want to say a massive thank you to my Patreons. You guys are awesome. And I will see you all in the next episode of my vlog. Bye.